Hi guys, welcome to this screencast number 6. What we're going to be dealing with in this screencast is group policy objects. What I want to do is create a group policy object and I want to assign it to an organizational unit. The first thing I want to do is create a new user and put that new user into an organizational unit. So I have the Super Manager up. I've expanded the Active Directory domain services. I'm in Active Directory users and computers. I go by the users container, I right click, I say new, and I say user. I'm prompted to enter a name for the user, a last name, and the user and logon name. I say next. I'm prompted to give the user a password. I say next. I'm gonna deselect user must change password at logon. Just doing this for demonstration purposes. Passwords do not match. I made an error. So hopefully that does it now. Yeah, there we go. I say finish. Alright. What I also want to do is I'm on the worker.com domain. I want to create a new organizational unit, and I'm going to call this unit sales, S-A-L-E-S. Right, I'm going to deselect protect container from accidental deletion, because as I said before, this is just for demonstration purposes. I say OK, and you see I have a new organizational unit called sales. What I want to do is look for David Banner. I'm simply going to place him in a new organizational unit called sales. If I click on sales, so David Banner. I created an organizational unit called agents, and we have a next user there called Ethan Kruger. What I want to do now is go and create a group policy that I'm going to assign to one of the organizational units. I go by start, I go by administrative tools, I look for group policy management, I select that. ForestWalker.com is expanded, I expand Walker.com. I go to group policy objects, I expand that, I highlight it, I right click, I say new. I'm going to give this GPO a name. I'm going to say OK. Policy for recycle bin removal. I'm going to highlight it. Highlight the particular group policy that is. I right click and I say edit. Here you see I have two options. I can edit for computer configuration, I can edit for user configuration. I'm going to user configuration, expanding policies. I am expanding administrative templates. I am expanding desktop. I click on desktop. I go to the root of desktop. As you see, as I click on that, there are a number of settings here. I go to remove recycle bin. Sorry, I did that a bit quickly. If you highlight it, there is a description of what the setting controls. I double click on it. I say enable. There's an explanation. If you want an explanation what the particular setting does, you can click on the explain. You can leave a comment. Let's see, is design. Stop. Oops. Alright, so you can enter a comment that is applicable to the GPU that you are creating. I say OK. Alright. I close the editor. Here we see we have our group policy recycle bin removal. I click on a particular organizational unit I want to apply to. I right click and I say link an existing GPU, and I highlight the GPU I want to link to the particular organization unit, which is remove recycle bin, and I say OK. If I expand the particular organizational unit, you will see that the recycle bin removal GPU is now attached to it. I close the group policy management. I go to start. I select run, and I already entered the command gp update base / force. This is to force the implementation of the particular group policy. I say OK. As you can see, it's saying here updating policy. Our policy has been successfully updated. Now I'll go to my Jason Bourne PC, and I'm entering newly created user David Banner. I'm going to enter password, and I say enter. So as you can see, the recycle bin does not appear on the desktop of David Banner as opposed to the desktop of Ethan Kruger. Also, if going back to David Banner, if we go to appearance and personalization, and I select personalization, if I go to the desktop icon setting, I can't select this particular option. So let's go back to the server. Now we need server manager. So that's because of the group policy that was applied to the sales organizational unit. David Banner does not have the recycle bin on his desktop, as opposed to the agents organizational unit, where Ethan Kruger doesn't have the GPO recycle bin policy applicable to his organizational unit, so he has access to the recycle bin on his desktop. Now if I were to go to sales and I highlight the recycle bin option, and I decide to delete, and prompted I say yes. OK. I go start, I go run, and I see a GP update, updating the policy. See, the policy has been successfully updated. OK, and I go back to Vista PC, and let's restart it first and see. And I restart. So the machine has restarted. Enter my password. You will notice that the recycle bin is now on my desktop, since I have removed the group policy from the sales organizational unit. So there we have it. That's how you create and apply group policies.